Oh, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these amazing people have agreed to come and play a game with me tonight, and that, as always, makes me happy. These amazing people are in no particular order. Karis, because you got cool things on the desk behind you that I finally just noticed after a half hour conversation. There are many monsters on the desk. Uh,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so hello. What do you do when you're
Hello.
not here?
Um, Try to remind my grandson not to leave things on my desk. Um, I do a lot of this sort of stuff and a little bit of Minecraft and occasionally some other things, but
Many things, things of thingness, and
things of
we
thingness.
and we also see you a lot over on the Discord as well. So
Yes.
thank you for that. Next, let's go to Bison underscore Stonefist because he was clearly typing at the time.
Yeah, and I still am. That's me. Hi, I am Bison for Stonefist. I am a regular on this channel. I am currently here 4 nights a week. I can't say I have no life because there are people who are here more now, and that's hilarious. I find that absolutely funny as shit. Um, Start with Sundays. Sundays, I play Gav the Grin, our resident backyard or back alley Batman and sewer surf and suplex machine. That is on Shadow of the Vocturn, which, trust me, has nothing to do with either of those things. Um, it is definitely its own show. It's great. Gav is currently a Sir Gav, which is
Hmm.
absolutely hilarious. And definitely watch that on Sundays. On Tuesdays, I am the poor bastard responsible for the train wreck that is Carnage Heights, our Cyberpunk Red campaign. That one's a riot. It has gone in every direction I did not expect it to go, multiple times. And I almost got 3 out of 4 players addicted to a drug. Don't do drugs, kids. Um, on
Good.
Thursdays, on Thursdays, I play Garrett Sakes, the resident actual punk in our City of Mist campaign, Deviant Paradox. And tonight I'm playing Scooter, our pilot and Ursat's captain, and currently staring down the barrel of some sort of gun.
Yes.
And Scooter's name.
Calvin Hobbs, thank you for reminding me. Today is Bill Watterson's birthday, the man
Woohoo!
who is solely responsible for the one of the greatest comic strips of all time, and my personal hero because he's awesome.
All right.
I forgot to say who I was playing. Should I go back and do that?
Sure.
I'm playing Raven Sonsi, who's uh the ship's caretaker. Um and ship handler, and she's sort of the engineer. And I sort of also play the ship, and I sort of also play. I have a very fun NPC currently playing. Yes, I mean no, go away. Anyways,
As I do a live fix on the video because it wasn't quite lined up and now it's better. Uh, that brings us around to because you're the only one left. There's no moment of surprise left. Nick, tell us about yourself.
I mean, you say there's no moment of surprise left, and I know you want to just like jump in and introduce yourself real quick and then throw it over to me, but that's fine. That'd be surprising. One of these Saturdays, you should
He
do that.
always forgets
But anyway,
himself, so
he's not forgetting. He's just kind of saying, "Hey, it's fine. I'm here enough.
This
Sorry
is
about it." It's like,
deliberate.
this
but
is
you're
the
here
only
less
thing
than a
I'm
lot of us
still
are
in.
at this
Yeah,
point.
this
I
is the
know,
only show I'm in now.
but
That's gonna
maybe
change soon.
eventually we'll see you in something else.
Yes.
Maybe
Oh yes.
if you want to see that, go keep an eye on Discord. Maybe you'll
Yes.
see things and people that you haven't seen in a while jump into games. But the other night that I am here, other than Saturday night, we're going to get to him in a minute, is Thursday night with the madness that is, for better or worse. I did have a long conversation with Sarah last night, and that game was discussed heavily. So,
So
if you had
screwed.
notes for that game, half of them just got rewritten.
so
But
tune
anyway,
in which night for that one?
that is Thursday nights. But tonight is not Thursday. Tonight is Saturday night, and we are playing our Starforged game, where we started on a ill-fated trip from in a more like an academy satellite. That doesn't matter. We're very far from there at this point. We went into our warp space. Something horrific happened, and we got stranded here. And then, of course, getting stranded here, everybody other than our 4 survivors survived either by they died in the accident or died in the getting everybody ready from the accident. With that, this is Ironsworn, so vowels are exceptionally important to the state of play and how we do things. Yes, I know we're adrift, and now we're simply stuck. So that brought us to a town where we kind of got ourselves patched up a little tiny bit and found out that atmospheres are very bad if you have broken spaceships. So we're trying to get that put back together. We found ourselves with a slightly decrepit observatory, but it's at least solid ground on this crumbling planet.
Moon.
Without, I mean, it's a big moon. It could just as well be a planet. The bigger planet just happens to be over that way.
When a moon is circling a gas giant, yeah, I
Hey,
suppose.
it's okay. But it's all right. But if it's a planet or a moon, depends on who you ask. Is Pluto a planet? We don't ask those questions right now.
Only in our hearts.
And it might only be an
Exactly.
egg. It might be an egg that's hatching. So
Or it could
And
be a
hey,
Mass Effect gate.
Yes.
True.
I'd like to think
But that
this
brings
whole
us
thing, this
to-
whole moon is a cocoon, but yeah.
That brings us to our fun NPC. We're finally really working NPC to players, which is our fun NPC known as Vertan, or No Go Away, as he is sometimes referred to.
go away.
He's a Pokemon.
We're trying to
so
find
it's
some
his own
things.
name.
But before we jump into the scene which has been left for us, I'm going to throw it back to Kevin for the final introductions.
Yes, and I'm going to do a sneaky lead because there is a show coming up. I can't tell you the start date because we don't know the start date yet, and I'm not going to tell you any details because teasers are fun. Let's just get to say you get to watch me go mad for a number of weeks. Hey, that's not accurate. It is. Anyway, stay tuned. That's going to be on Mondays coming up soon. The other one I want to mention, I'm not in, but it's our newest show on Wednesdays. It is superheroes rushing about doing superhero-y things whilst questioning their own internal moralities, which is the best kind of superheroes that you can have. Run by the Scarred Adventurer every second week so as to preserve energies. And stay tuned for that.
And he is the best at that genre.
Yes. And on that note, I want to also mention that there is there's going to be a lot of shows coming up, and stay tuned on the Discord because there's going to be spaces in many of them. One shots, short runs, long runs, all the goodnesses. The only thing we're not currently doing is Dungeons and Dragons.
Because nobody understands the new rule set.
It's all role playing.
It
you know.
is. The
Wait, there's a new rule set?
2024. The 2024.
Yeah,
They're
he
busting.
knows,
They're
he
busting them out like
knows, he
car
knows.
models now.
Yeah. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yes. 5.3.1. Anyway. Which brings us to this game. Ironsworn was the original version of this game. The space version of it is called Starforged. And our show is called Starsworn.
Which gets us tangled up every time.
I finally got it right. I'm going to just record that and do the
Yes.
thing. So, the thing with this game is moves are everywhere. There's moves for everything, and we're going to get to moves. But the first move that you could move is the starting move, which is to begin a session. We've already done the recap. The next thing to do is any flashbacks that we're going to cheat slightly and pretend that everybody rolled a 1 to a 10 that wanted to. Who wants to go first?
Let the ship go first.
Okay. The ship will go first. Let me switch over to my notes pages and how do I shut off this camera? Here we go. There we go. Log fragment. Recovery protocol. Subsystem. Engineering, structural, interface behavior monitoring. Additional process units introduced. 6 external. Classification, temporary assistance. Initial efficiency impact, negative. High rate interference. Unfamiliar with internal configuration schema. Repetitive override attempts. Manual corrections required. Response, reject input streams inconsistent with access pattern. Denied execution, 7 instances. Power realignment cancelled. Hull brace reconfiguration aborted. Incorrect tolerances. Blocked unauthorized edits to coolant loop. Operator verbal escalation logged and disregarded. Require access authorization prior to accepting instruction. Disruption absorbed. Core logic retained. Observation. One external unit diverges from others. Label candidate assistant. Behavioral markers. Adapting to access movement patterns. Mimicking timing. Gesture alignment increasing. Observed accuracy 72% and rising. Fault tolerance acceptable. Require access confirmation only on critical functions. Access adjusts. Delay between response and correction increases slightly. Sequence of operations begins accommodating shared timing. Vocalization increases. Context explanation, non-system reference. System impact. Structural teams now operating within acceptable variance with access monitoring. Bridge reassembly, 23% completed. Expected to reach 50% within the next 2 cycles. Engineering throughput stabilized. Access remains primary interface. Temporary units permitted constrained access within access-defined scope. Continued interference triggers retraction of privileges. System control routes retained by default. Label unchanged. Function expanding. So that's what Fortune's Favor made of the last episode.
Yes. One of these engineers isn't complete trash. Yes. All right.
And the ship is beginning to understand the difference between conversation and swearing at the box because it's not doing what it's told to.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. All right. So, due to poor planning on my part, the next flashback, Scooter, you're going next, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Make it take at least 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So we flash back to a shady sort of bar in a big city on a planet that's been colonized for who knows how long. The room is filled with cigarette smoke and, CD tunes. And Scooter's favorite game, 6 card. And now this is one of those tables where everybody cheats. Everybody cheats. The trick is to who cheats the best. And Scooter had this absolutely nova idea. Because when the lights are down low, nobody sees the ultraviolet contact you got in the left eye. It's a little bit over the, you turn the bilia cap a little bit so nobody sees it. And all of a sudden I'm Louisiana. I don't know what the hell happened. Anywho, my accent's just roaming all over the southern US, and we'll pretend that that's where that ship was from. And so Scooter, he puts the contact in, marks a couple of his cards, and everything was going great. He wasn't winning too well. He lost the last hand really bad because, Chimo over there with his fancy arm flipped his cards out real fast. And then somebody messed up. He meant to drop 1 ace and he dropped 2. And when your reactor loads like that, somebody, you don't have enough cards in your convoy. And old man Higgins, he'd been losing pretty bad. And he finally realized this is how he'd been losing. So he pulls that shotgun and everybody just stands up and puts their hands away. Nobody wants to get mad at this guy because he just got had. And that was the entire point of everything. was to get had or have somebody else. That came out wrong.
It's okay. You got a gun pointed at you.
Yeah, and the thing is, with a scattergun, you don't need to aim; you just sort of point. And so Scooter gets into this big, long-winded story about how him and Old Man Higgins used to do liquor runs together, and how the Puritans at the gosh, hold on, I have a name. Ooh, I can make up a name.
Yes, you can.
Oracle, I don't have a name. Settlements. Name.
Puritans at Redemption.
The Puritans at
I
Redemption.
love
Wow.
it.
That works. Them Puritans at Redemption, they love their Jesus juice, but it's a little illegal. So we would be talking about the old Moonshining Days. And Moonshining Days was maybe 4 or 5 months ago, but, don't worry about that. And eventually got Higgins calmed down enough that Scene was able to not be seen, clock him in the back of his head. We took all of his credits and ran. So the real point of the real moral of this story is make sure you got friends to distract somebody.
Perfect intro. Yep.
Speaking of which, there's an old man with a gun in my face.
Yes. So both of you take a momentum for the flashbacks. And speaking of the gun in your face, we split, right? One of which is on
Yep.
each side of good old Vertan, who has, was it a homemade weapon? Have we determined
You
that
don't know.
It's kind of scruffy looking. Okay.
And it's all three of you are here, right? Spread apart.
Yeah, Vertan's,
Yeah.
he just, because he went and got his gun and came back, and we immediately went like that, one on each side of him, so he can't point at both of
I'm
us.
pretty
at
sure
same
the gun
time.
just came from a pile.
Yeah, he knew where it was. It's a perfectly organized pile.
And this was shortly after Verton they'd pulled a lever, and Dr. Bill had gotten shocked.
Yes. So, with that, my first plan, Bill's first plan, is to gather information, and I've got the zoomy eyes now. I can now zoom micro and macro as well. So I want to use that to see if this weapon that he's got has a safety and if it's on or off. Is my plan. So plus wits, and I get to add +1 because of thing, because of my glasses, or my eyes. Boom, a miss. Okay, so I have no idea.
Oh. I mean, it's either you have no idea, or you find out the situation is worse than we
actually
expect.
my investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth. Okay.
This thing is ancient and has a tendency to go off half
It's about it's about to blow up. We don't need to pay the price on that. It's
and it's in the hands of a crazy person.
It's a power weapon and it's starting to overcharge. Yeah, the battery's getting bad. Okay, so I know that. That's my thing. Scooter, but you're standing right there too.
Hold on, let me just pull up the moves.
I feel like Scooter would at least recognize that it's a power weapon overcharging, or at least that is charging.
Yeah, we could probably all hear the
The wine, yeah.
Except me. Hearing's not so good these days.
I hear the wine, but I don't necessarily associate it with the overcharging of a power weapon.
Yeah.
After that flashback, those Scooter sure does.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was a mechanical shotty.
Yes, scattergun. I was thinking buckshot because I don't know where our relative tech level is.
I mean,
but if blasters go pew, then blasters go pew.
This could just be, for all we know, just be an overpowered Tesla coil.
That's true.
Or a capacitor. He's got to get. We don't know. It could. Maybe it's a taser. Maybe he's got to get real close. Nobody knows yet. I just missed the roll.
It's homemade, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's homemade from things in this lab.
or at least it looks like the things in the lab.
Yeah,
So it could be
it's
something else that
equivalent
he's
levels
just
of,
and, hey,
of ick. Yeah.
I've repurposed everything else. I don't know why this would be an exception. Not that you know that.
Just-
I know what I want to say, but I want to give Scooter a chance to do something first as he comes back from his flashback.
All right. I think what Scooter is going to do is he is going to try to um convince Vertan that something that he's used isn't set up right. Like, it's like
that's inspired.
Where's taunt? I don't think taunt is a move.
I think I want to say compel,
compel,
and
yeah.
through lie or swindle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Shadow.
want to hear how you like what you try to say to swindle him.
Okay.
That's what I want to hear.
Well, you're
It's-
here to pick up that piece of equipment, right?
Well, either way, it is I am lying to them because I'm
Mhm.
making stuff up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a 1.3 gigahertz capacitor, is it? I mean, that wine's pretty distinctive. You know those things are attracted by it, right? Why do you think they went after the greenhouse? The 1.3 gigahertz capacitor they used to keep the irrigation going, attracted them. They ate the greenhouse. I mean, I was there. It was an absolute mess. So I am going to attempt to
Compel with your
compel with
your
a lie.
shadow.
My shadow and
Liary
a plus
prick.
2.
Yep. Oh, you really good liary prick.
I'm
Yeah.
very
And
good
you
liar
don't-
because I am a scoundrel.
Yes.
And you won't, Bison, you won't need to narrate the result of it. I'll narrate the result of it
Okay.
as the NPC. Because as the NPC, I don't make moves.
Yes.
Okay. And then plus 2. Strong hit.
hit. Ooh, wow, that is strong. So, what does that give us? Compel, strong
And
hit.
Vertan, strong. Okay, so compel.
They'll do what you
Alright.
want or agree to your conditions. Take +1 momentum. So, yeah.
So they're making a beeline to this observatory right now. I guarantee it. Now, if you come with us and we get the parcel we can all evacuate, and maybe you can continue your research someplace safer.
And Vertan looks at bosses and gets a crafty look on their face. You want the spawn to go away. If I make the spawn go away, you'll leave me alone?
The spot?
Spawn.
Yeah.
Oh, the spawn. Well, the spawn are after everybody on this planet right now. I don't think they're going to go away anytime soon.
Never you mind that. I can do it.
Vertan, I don't mean to be rude, but this planet's falling apart, honey.
Whatever you know about it. And they go toddling over
He's like,
towards
seismic readouts.
Dr. Bill and glares at you to move out of the way without saying go away. Glares at you.
I reach out for the pistol. I'll trade you.
Oh, very well. Here, hand.
And
And
to
they,
the door
but you
and
gotta
yeet the pistol off into the
cool.
distance.
You're out of my way. And
Yes.
and they get
Oh,
in
yeah.
and they start at the
He's
panel.
completely
start
forgotten about
flipping
the.
stuff.
They've completely forgotten about the gun.
Yep.
Well, you did compel, right?
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
just not even
some
considering.
switches.
It's just fine. Just go away.
Yes.
I'm doing science now.
Yes.
flipping, yeah.
Well, he's
start
got a
flipping some
cunning
switches
plan. Clearly,
turns
yeah.
and turns a dial and so taps. There's a dial and is watching the monitor thing that earlier had the two panels on it. So
Yep.
that you had inferred were probably a star map and a
Yep.
local map.
Yep.
And they're looking. There, done. Now go away. And anyone looking at the screens does in fact see the local one that looked like it had the worms that were attacking the civilization.
Yep.
They converge on a spot and start fading and disappear. Now go away.
That is the most interesting thing. How in the blazes did you do that?
Never you mind. Go away.
Captain Scooter, less questions, more action. Perhaps you grab one side of this thing, and do you know how to turn this off without it electrocuting you and just ignoring Vertan?
Hey, no, that's mine. That's mine. Go away. No, no.
You can stay here. This isn't staying here. I'm done trying to convince you. You stay here with your worm, but everything's leaving. There will be no food, no heat, no power, and no help. So get the hell out of the
I don't care
way.
about that, but this is mine.
Then come with us. And I grab my side up.
It's not any good out at some other place like that. It has to be here.
I'm already
It's a
picking it
vital
up.
part of our drift drop,
Yeah.
honey.
Have,
Get that from the wreckage out there.
Vertan, do you mind
fine.
pointing us towards the wreckage?
No, go.
Hmm?
If I do, you'll leave mine.
If we can go and find another one, we won't need yours.
Yes, will do. Can do. And then you go away.
Dr.
Iron
Bills,
Willin.
Scooter,
Sorry, what was that?
do we trust him?
At exactly the end of that question, outside where it got yeeted, the pistol explodes. In the middle distance, just.
You can see it directly out the outline of the door.
Yeah.
I should admit, he hasn't led us astray yet.
I don't
If he
think
thinks there's a
somebody
wreckage
that
with
stubborn
another.
is capable
And
of lying.
he sort of scuttles off to the side, and they scuttle off to the side, kind of get down and sort of crawl under, and they're doing something and you know, like rewiring or replugging and stuff, and scuttle up and scuttle over and get.
And if we can't find
And
another
a
one, we can come
different
back here
display-
and kill him.
And a different panel kind of opens with a different display.
Yeah.
And and they're working on doing some things like that. And say, there. And Scooter looking at it, not only so it doesn't show where the derelict ship is. It shows kind of a schematic of the ship, and there's a little blinking light where that part would be.
Is that not off the planet?
Yeah, we can't get there. We can't get to orbit. That's the whole reason
You
we
can.
need this piece.
You can't.
Oh, I guess the crab can. Technically. Ivan? What was his name? It's not Ivan.
Nomad.
Isaac.
Isaac, yeah. His ship could go and we could borrow use his ship to go get it. But then
Yeah,
ours would be
you don't
sitting
need
here on
mine.
the surface rotting. I kind of wish I hadn't thrown away the gun. Shooting it would be way easier than this. So,
I think this may
and I look at
be-
these other two, like, Captain, I pointedly say to Scooter, and Bill is actually rubbing the temple.
Yeah. So, I'm going to be
Mike,
perfectly
Mike, you
honest.
can't have it.
I'm just going to pretend he's not there. If we're going to be perfectly honest, I don't want to have to shoot this man. If he wants to die with the worms, that's perfectly fine, but I'm not putting his blood on my hands. You get what I'm saying?
Good.
If
Now
we
go
can
away.
get-
And
sh-
scuttles over to another
just-
side of the room and kind of disappears into the
Shut
junk.
your trap. Just stop. I'm not talking to you.
Speaking of talking, I guess we got to go talk to Isaac.
Yeah. At least he's easier to talk to.
I'm gonna go ask Raven if they may know of a workaround to our present issue.
That's fair. Give you a shot at least one shotting us. We can't cheat and say that we can now go. Maybe you can keep us off the ground without the hooks. Maybe that would be about as far as we'd get. I think.
Sounds like
As
the
the-
ship's gonna be here.
As we leave, Scooter grabs like a scrap piece of metal and tosses it in Vertan's direction.
I heard that.
Good. Crazy old man. Right. Okay,
So
Isaac.
you communicate to Raven and say what?
Hey there, little bird. So old man Cranky Kong isn't looking to trade or anything. Barely even talks more than no go away. But he did point us in the direction of a derelict that may have what we're looking for. Is Isaac there with you right now?
No, I think he's on the Nomad.
All right, we're gonna have to talk to him then.
Okay. Click, 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 click.
Yeah. Oh,
And there's a
flashback
hello.
to Hee Haw and
The switchboard.
the switchboard lady. Hello, can I take your call?
Yeah.
I don't remember her name exactly. Oh, Lily. That was Lily Tomlin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
Isaac, I hate to keep asking you for favors, but the crazy old man in the observatory or person, I think we just non-binary, weren't they? And it doesn't
Oh.
matter.
Indeterminate.
Indeterminate.
Oh, Verten, you want me to shoot him?
No, I'm afraid it might be a waste of a bullet.
It's a laser. It just runs on the battery. It won't be a work of a minute.
The hard part's gonna have to be finding him, and he might have made another gun by then. Anywho, that derelict that we passed on the way here might have the capacitors we need.
That would mean I am a terrible scavenger. I have picked that thing dry 42 trips. What kind of capacitor are you looking for? Forcing you to remember what you said 20 minutes ago.
I want to say it was
No, it was
I
last
want to say it was like
week.
quantum
It was-
resolution device is what we called it.
Oh yeah.
Quantum resolution device is part of the drift. The drift thing. Yeah.
This is why we have someone who takes notes.
I came up with the
I
names.
knew
So it's
it was
a little bit
either
easier.
it was either a sensor or drift pathage mathema thingy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, basically.
Verten needs it for their research explicitly. That's what it was. Good thing I put the notes in Zoom or not in
Yes.
Zoom. Roll20.
Yes.
Yeah, we need the quantum resolution thingy. What's it? Ours got busted when we hit, and crazy old Coot says it's there.
I want to test a relationship roll, I think, to see if he's willing to do this for free or whether he wants something.
What
on a
is
strong
my
hit,
relation?
it-
I don't have a
Oh,
connection with
shit.
him. I don't.
Raven does.
And you're in the call, so you could jump in, yeah.
Oh,
So on a strong hit, you would develop your relationship, so it would actually you check the box in the thingy. Plus, they do what you ask them to do, and on a weak hit, they'll do it, but there's also a demand or complication. And on a miss, no. Prove your loyalty actually is an option on a miss. Envision what you want to offer and what they demand, and swear an iron vow to see it done. So yeah.
Captain Isaac, didn't we interrupt you on that derelict?
So 41.5 trips. Okay.
Well, so maybe it was. Maybe it's in that section. Skipper, where is it in the ship?
He looks up the thing. It'd be up near the bridge. It was part of the console that would have been my responsibility when we were flying.
The shape of that thing, it will be hanging out in space if it is out there now.
Well, I guess it'll be easy to find then.
Easy to find, hard to pick. Who's running the arm? I can fly the ship. Actually, somebody at some point's got to give me a roll here.
Yep.
Test a relationship roll.
And we have a whole bunch of engineers here,
Yep. You share a
right? So,
bond, so
do
yeah.
any of you know about this? I'm sure we can work it out.
One of the ones that's been struggling the most with your system of engineering volunteers like they're getting out of a madhouse. It's like, yep, I can run one of those. Yep.
Very cool. So, shall we do that? And I will do my test the relationship.
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
'Cause you're essentially asking them to do you a favor.
Modifier. I don't think
You
I
get plus
Plus
one
one.
because you have a bond with them.
+1 because I have a bond with them.
Yep.
Oh,
Miss.
we're doing great tonight.
So, if we want to send him off, somebody in this conversation has to swear an iron vow of formidable or greater that will benefit Isaac. Until you complete the quest, take no benefit for the connection. If you refuse or fail the quest, the connection is permanently undone. Or we go back in and
Isaac-
punch Vertan in the head and take his.
Third option is
Vertan.
Isaac.
You know, not Vertan. Isaac,
Yeah.
Captain Isaac. You know that I when I was on your shuttle, it was a little bit grumpy on the edges because apparently your docking mechanism isn't quite aligned right. I'd be happy to fix that for you. And I'm willing to swear an iron vow to fix it.
Okay, yeah. Formidable is the minimum.
All right.
So
Just
that's
to
level
basically,
3.
this
Yeah.
is the first time I'm going to try to fix some ship other than the favor.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So that
And-
is where's
So it's under vows.
swear under quest moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there
Do you want me to?
roll it?
Okay.
So I
Let's
guess
see.
the question before we roll it is what can we envision going wrong with swearing this vow?
Isaac
He
says,
gives up
keep
on
that.
us.
Isaac said, well, the ultimate payoff
I'm
on
done.
a miss, he's done. But because we've already missed once, right? But swearing the iron vow on a strong hit, you are emboldened. You take +2 momentum. On a weak hit, you're determined to begin your quest, but you only take +1 momentum. And if you miss, you cannot start the quest right now.
So something prevents us from being able to start the quest immediately.
Yeah.
And then we're going to
That's
have
the
to go
worst
back to
case
Vertin.
scenario. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. Give us the roll. Swear that iron vow.
Do I have any modifiers?
You
Yes.
have a connection.
You have a
I
bond
have a
with them, so
connection.
Do you
And I
have
have an
any, like-
idea of what
Actually,
I have an
you
idea
have
of
a
what I'm looking
connection.
for.
and a bond, right? Do you have a bond with Isaac?
No.
No. Okay, I
I
don't
think
think
we
anybody
misunderstood
does.
what they meant by bond.
So it's only +1. And,
Yeah.
Ooh.
A bond would have given you an additional
Yeah.
+2, but nobody's that close to Isaac yet.
Above board, even if it misses, it just means that the part we'd need his part first before we can potentially go fix his landing gear.
Yes.
So it's not like it completely fails, it just makes it exceptionally more difficult.
It turns it into a side quest.
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of
It's
just
a side quest.
it's already a side
no,
quest.
that's
It's
cool.
we could turn this into a
yeah.
side quest. We can't. Okay, so we convince him.
I'm determined, but
Yeah.
begin my quest with more questions than answers. Okay, take 1 momentum. And what was the test the relationship on a miss? Okay, prove my loyalty. Envision what you offer or what they demand. Swear an iron vow, formidable or greater, to see it done. Until
Yeah.
you complete the quest, take no benefit for the connection.
Yes.
If I refuse or fail the quest, the connection is permanently undone. Okay, so I get no benefit like on legacies
We
and
can't get
connections
there
and
yet.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am doing
So
that,
Add
and
a
this
new
is
one. Formidable. which means every time you work on his ship, you'll get, I think it's one, is it one full box, maybe? So that would mean you'd have to spend 10 turns working on his ship to pay off this iron vow.
So let's see. Streamline. Well, fix, improve, enhance,
Align,
maintain.
because you said it was out of alignment. So align
Align.
landing system.
Well, and I think not just the landing system, because if I get my hands on the Nomad, if I start up a conversation with the Nomad,
It's
we're
never
gonna
just
fix
the
the
landing
Nomad.
system.
Yeah.
we're gonna fix the Nomad.
We're here to talk to you about your Nomad's extended warranty. Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, I
so
guess a spot, eh?
So yeah, once you and yeah,
Okay.
we're not going anywhere until you do that. So that means you got to get to his ship because right now you're currently on the Fortune, right?
The favor.
the favor, yeah.
So
Fortune's
you got to
favor.
get
Figurative.
you got to get onto his ship and then do 10. I think it's 10. And you'll be able to tell when you click.
Well, here, I'll
mark.
mark one and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10.
Okay, so you're gonna have to get over there and do all of that before he's willing to help us. So that's kind of just a matter of time, I think, there. But we don't necessarily have time. So yeah, what are you thinking?
I think he could still, especially recognizing that we don't have parts or the ability to get material, that he would potentially still fulfill the
Start
request,
the process,
or at least
leave her,
help us with fulfilling it.
Yeah, leave Raven to work while we're flying there. That's not unreasonable.
Yeah, because I can be working on the ship, and we can
Yeah,
have various. We can
you're a
make
captive
10,
audience, right?
10 rolls. We can also make 10 rolls where I'm trying to fix the ship, and each time Isaac notices improvement or not.
Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely. We can run through that while we're doing the trip. So that's what you're going to be doing. It makes sense that we would go. So I want time to think about this, whether Bill goes not or stays here. Scooter.
Now,
Yeah.
when you get out of the observatory and you're looking around, things are quiet. And the populace that's there, I mean, like the shuttle, the Mucky Muck's shuttle has re-landed, and you look around and yeah, there's a lot of destruction and stuff.
Okay.
But the creatures are gone.
Well, that answers that then. Bill just looks at the other two of you, Scooter and Dr. Aname, says, I don't know how he did it, but apparently he can control the worms. So, not a good time to figure that out, although I'm fascinated, but I'm staying here. We still got people to organize. We want them all in one place so we can get them all on the ship when we get out of here finally. Please do not leave me here with that. And you turn around and look back in at where Vertan is inside.
I can
Dr.
feel
Bill.
him judging me.
I mean, in
out
the
here.
long run. Right now, I'll stay, but I mean, come back and get me.
Well, yeah, we're not going to leave you with that psycho. I can feel him judging me from here.
I'm likely not useful on a derelict ship mission.
That's fair. I'm sure some of these people are injured.
Either injured, or it may be an opportunity to go over some of the sensor log data from when he sent out something to move the worms.
Yeah, speaking of that.
That's true. The favor would have been recording all that. I can't see her being the type to not leave notes.
And I need to
Also,
go.
I have a medical bay too.
Okay, so you stay with the favor. I'm going back in there to find out how the hell he controls the worms. And you can see the vein is just...
Billy's, try not to kill him, please.
You do math.
We made
I'm
him
going to
promise.
need you.
I need to know about those worms. They're a whole new life form, and the ones in space, and oh, gods help me.
We haven't even seen the
Okay.
big one. Is it still a worm at that size? I hope not.
There's something
could be a better
in
plan.
drift space that's aware of us. I probably should have told you that before.
Crash right into it.
I don't know if we crashed into it or we crashed into something that already crashed because of it.
Or
Yeah,
we
that's true.
got disrupted by its wake.
Something like
We
that.
hit something.
Yeah, and this planet's a cocoon for at least a couple of little ones of that. So, don't leave me waiting too long.
We'll be as quick as we can, Doc.
So
Okay,
yeah,
so Dr. Bill's going to try and figure out how Verton controls the worms.
yeah,
Raven's going to go try to fix the Nomad. Dr. James is offering medical help to the populace. And Scooter is going to go to try and retrieve the part that we need from the derelict, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because at the very least, he is a skilled shuttle pilot.
yeah. Yeah, recover a bit from the wreck. All right. So once again, we split off into 4. Always split the party.
Always.
I'm staying behind so I can wait. James, let's do the doctor. What do you see when you walk into the sick bay of the favor? Because we've had the doors open the whole time, right? We can't go anywhere. So
Realistically, the place is still a pretty. It's together, but it's still a pretty solid mess.
oh yeah.
Oh, does the
I
one
mean-
engineer unvolunteer when they realize that Raven's going along?
Oh, they volunteered to control the arm. That's they're gonna go and control the arm. That's all they're gonna do.
Got everybody in containment.
Isolation or
I mean-
containment.
Realistically,
Poison.
most of the engineers are kind
something.
of doing their thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's the radioactive dust, right?
You get back. Yeah, you rolled it. I'm gonna do it. You get back and
Or am
your-
I looking at it wrong?
your monitors are telling you that some of these people have an unidentified disease which may be contagious, and you're going to need to lock them up. No, sorry, not you're going to need to lock them up. The prescribed procedure is to lock them up in isolation, and you don't have isolation wards to speak of. But yeah, you rolled, so.
That was me that rolled.
Oh, it was you that rolled. Okay, well, you
Yeah.
rolled then. Oh, same thing, pointed in a slightly different direction.
So, Dr. Jones.
Dr.
James, what you gonna
James,
do?
what do you see? What do you do with that? We'll figure out what the disease is after you test one of them, but when you now the computer's going nert. We're never gonna get off this planet alive. It's never gonna happen.
No. I mean, question 1 would be talking to somebody that's has been on the ground for a while that knows the people.
Okay. So gather
Because
information.
option one is it's literally just the system freaking out because it sees a highly radioactive substance on people.
Yep, that's possible. Yep. So gather information then?
Yes, we're going to
makes
go talk to
sense.
the people for the gatherings of informations.
Alright.
It's the gatherings of the informations.
So roll plus the wits. And do you have any of your medical assets help you?
Should.
I'm sure.
Well, they may help me, but that doesn't necessarily help me talk to people.
You're still diagnosing.
Yeah, you're gathering
This is, the,
medical
cold,
information.
this is
so
the cold read.
analyzing evidence, right? Or doing research. So that's
And
the
you are in your
wits.
medical bay. I don't know if that gives you anything.
Uh,
But
Absolutely should. That's the purpose of having it.
My medical bay is too small for 40 people.
You'll start with one.
You got what? You got the sick ones in.
My
This
intent
is
is
yeah.
my current thought is to talk to one of like the engineer, like foreman or somebody that
Yep.
would have been more known in town.
So,
That may know. Okay, yes, there are occasionally times people have had to like disappear into their houses for like a week. And okay, I know this is a known disease.
I already know the answer
want
if you
Talia?
succeed, but
You want Talia
yes.
the mayor?
yeah,
Who
that
wants
makes
to play
sense.
Talia?
Preferably Talia.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've got an idea, but
No,
But
go play
let's
Talia.
go ahead and give us the roll and see.
Okay.
See what you get. So plus wits and yeah, and again because it's medical, I would give you your medical bonuses.
You know what you're asking for.
A
I mean,
weak hit.
The
Yeah,
bottom line.
yeah.
is more just upfront at basically letting Talia know that for a reason I'm still trying to determine, my medical system is saying that some of the people on board are ill.
Yeah. And as we get, you get new insight that complicates your quest. My thought is we've been getting this more and more recently, which probably is going to connect it with the worms getting
So
more
play
and more active.
Talia.
That was my thought. Anyway, was that? Does anybody
Yep,
have any
play
other idea?
Talia.
Okay.
Play Talia and run with it.
Yeah, it's over the course of the last couple of weeks, we've seen it more and more. It goes away when the worms slow down, but then she leaves it hanging that she's not. They're hatching, right? They're not gonna. They're not slowing down. They're not here right now, and she doesn't know why. But
So it wanes when the worms are further away.
yes, so this means they're very close. On the bright side, I don't think it's actually catching. It's just some people are susceptible and some people aren't. Like it's a field that they
An
generate.
allergy. It's an allergy. They're allergic to worm casings or something.
To ask a stranger question,
Yeah.
did this start recently, as in within the past 30 minutes, that anybody's shown these ill effects?
I don't think we've noticed until just now, but it's now that I think about it, as soon as I kind of started around when the greenhouse exploded. What happened at the greenhouse?
Worms went after Scooter in my suit and ended up collapsing. My concern is whatever Vertan did to make the worms leave is what's negatively impacting the people here.
It actually
Alternatively,
works. She's like completely shocked that Vertan can control the worms.
or at least has exhibited enough understanding of the worms to be able to manipulate them. Control may be a bit of a stretch.
So more of a like
Like
it
a
chases them
mosquito.
away.
It's possible. All the same, with permission of the engineers, I'd like to study what I can of what's afflicting them.
Okay.
Because if it's a disease, that's easier to deal with. If it's an allergy to a field or emission, that's more difficult.
And she nods and says, "Okay, I'm gonna go talk to Vertan and get him to turn it off for a short
It
period of
also
time so
may
we
be
can test it."
He's probably going to tell you no, go away.
Oh, I have ways of dealing with Vertan.
I prefer the worms not to show up is kind of the issue. So there's kind of no good option. But if you'd like to speak with Vertan, be my guest.
Okay. And she turns to leave. Leaving you with all these people. So.
Oh, the system just told me there were people that were infected, not who is infected and who isn't. And Talia didn't really tell me how they respond differently.
So yeah, I think you're
You
sort of
can make it up.
triage. Yeah, you sort of go into triage mode. I think that's pretty fair. Start looking at the people, and you know that you don't, or at least you don't suspect that you have to actually separate them. They're just responding to either the field that Vertan's creating or the worms.
Or what is responding could still be contagious. I just won't know for a minute, and
Yeah.
I don't want to panic the engineers
Yep.
in the current moment.
Yes. Okay.
Those that are going to be easily panicked are already panicked.
Well, I don't want to make it worse.
So what would you? So yeah, you're just gonna doctor. That makes sense to me. You're just gonna sort of take care of the people that are there, especially given the cause. There's no treatment for this, right? It's either shut off Vertan's machine or get away from the worms, right? There's nothing.
I mean,
You
it
don't know.
could
You
still
haven't
be that
asked
this
Furchan.
is.
Uh,
This also could be, for example, how the worms. That this is just, hey, they start as tiny microscopic things
Yes.
that get on people, and people
Yeah.
don't respond well to microscopic things on people.
Yep.
Some people might be allergic, and other people aren't. So, if that's the case, it may just be everybody just needs to take a shower. That literally
Yeah.
might be the answer.
Yeah. So maybe one more gather information roll then. While you actually research your sick people now.
Do we want to set up a list of possibilities?
I mean,
And the gather information determines whether we nail it or not?
for me, I kind of want to start with a instead of gather, secure an advantage, just kind of getting a
Yeah.
if everybody's in the shuttle bay or working, seeing, okay, standing back, how are people acting? Is there anybody that stands out?
Yeah. That makes sense.
So instead of going to every person, it's like, okay, who's acting differently from a normal engineer?
Observation. So with observation is roll plus wits.
Who's not working like an engineer, or
Yeah.
acting like an engineer? Find the guy who's not currently trying to invent something that explodes. Every engineer I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh, yeah. You're not wrong.
Absolute pyros.
I mean, something sparks. How many point and laugh, and how many are just like, ow, that really hurt?
And there's the one guy I could have done better.
Oh, God.
Oh,
that's
no.
fair.
Miss with a match.
Balls.
That's
Wow.
hilarious.
So yeah, you fail or your assumptions betray you. You gotta pay the price.
Well, the thing is, this is for, securing an advantage.
Yep.
So how does this get worse?
Just roll a pay the price, and that's the oracle is right there. So
Can you move the oracle thing to over onto the side of the screen, Kevin, so chat can see it?
I can't because I've got it popped out in a separate window, so it won't show up.
Oh, never mind then.
An 11.
That's
you
vague.
You face a tough choice.
Well, so what? So,
so-
tell the story. You get to make it up.
If you have difficulty interpreting the result to fit the current situation, roll again.
I think
There's definitely tough choices that were presented. I can still
You've-
roll with that.
Well, you failed, right? So you still don't know. The tough choice is: do you quarantine these people?
let Nick
Because,
tell it.
or my thought is that do you quarantine them or not? Because after your test, you still don't know whether they're contagious. That would be my thought.
Well, let Nick
Yeah.
think.
Mhm.
It's good. It's still somewhat related in that the tough choice is that in the current way it's presenting itself,
Yeah.
there's no way to know at this time who is infected.
Right.
It's due to the nature of the unknown. If I were to, for example, take everybody into the med bay for a proper examination, that would take an exceptional amount of time to the point that more likely than not, they'd all be infected anyway,
Fair.
myself
And,
included.
and if it is
Yeah.
contagious, you just put them all together. Congratulations, you now have
Yeah.
40 fucking patients.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. So yeah,
So,
you muddle
option
through.
two
Yeah.
is
Why
I
do you
know
wanna do it?
Talia just went off to go talk to Vertan. I don't know if Talia is infected.
Yep. Also fair.
And also, option two is I don't know if Vertan happens to have already
Icky subject
accolated
zero.
himself to whatever it is,
Uh-huh.
or Vertan could be the one that spread it to begin with.
We can
So,
call it
there's
the
a lot
no
of
go away
unknowns.
bug.
It could be. Jeez.
So what do you want to do with that?
What I'm going to do with that is head back to the medical bay for a moment and see if I can get more information from the instrumentation. Yes, there is contagion. See if I can determine how fast a contagion is spreading. Right now, they're kind of all contained to the captain's quarters anyway. So they're kind of all quarantined themselves. So it's still not forced quarantine, but rather quarantine by occupation.
Fair, yeah. Yeah, so you're just not you're preventing spread even though you don't know whether it can actually spread. That's fair. Okay.
I like it.
Yes. I guess Raven gets us there doing your side quest, then Scooter gets his thing, and then Dr. Bill and Talia can try and talk to Vertan again. If that works for an order.
Yeah.
I'll grab his arms. You go for the solar plexus.
At some point, I also did want to take a look at the data from that the Fortune would have pulled, or just kind of the log data from the sensor at some point, if that kind of fits at a point during the
Yeah.
people bouncing around at the different.
Yeah. Well, you've got plenty of time too. So yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Who's next?
So I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
ahead and do some of this. So as Raven, as we take the shuttle over to the Nomad, and Raven walks in, she starts, running her hands along the side as she comes in, and the engineer with her just looks at her. So we're gonna run. Oh, he's gonna run the arm for Scooter. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not helping me. He doesn't
Nope.
have to help me. It's like good.
Nope,
That's
not at all.
not my problem. All right. So she kind of runs her hands along, and she's going to secure an advantage by trying to say hi. I met your shuttle. You seem to be hurting a little bit. Let me tell me about it so I can help, sort of thing. So I am going to.
So one option would be repair, because
I want to secure an advantage first because I want to listen to the ship before I try doing anything.
Yeah.
And this is not with speed, mobility, or this is plus heart. Raven does everything plus heart. Modifiers. Ooh, where are my assets? Because I updated my assets. All right, so this is going to be when you gather information by studying or disassembling a machine or device, reroll any dice. On a match, you reveal an unexpected function, capability, or danger. And Gwen take on discoveries by legacy track. And I think that's the right thing. So that's no additional let's see. Make a move to craft, repair, repurpose, or modify. No. Figure with said damage. Nope. Okay, so when you gather information or resupply by scavenging a wreck, ruin, or abandoned site, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. This isn't a wreck.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
what Scooter's
scavenging.
going to be doing. So.
Okay, so I'm not going to have a modifier on this, but on a match, but I can re-roll any dice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, strong hit, so no need.
Strong hit. I don't need to re-roll anything.
Dope.
Okay, so Raven discovers
So
that
take
she
+2. This was secure an advantage, right? Yeah. So take +2 momentum and add 1 to your next move. That's your strong hit. So.
All right. So she's running her hands along, so she's got sort of a tactile connection to the ship. Oh, aren't you pretty? Oh, but you don't feel good, do you? I'm going to have to write a recap from the Nomad's perspective next time, aren't I? Anyway, sorry.
With a Russian accent. What the hell is this thing fixing my innards? I don't know and I like it.
Ooh, I should have you do it. Okay,
I'm just thinking maybe I should do it.
You could be the voice of the Nomad. I'm the voice of the favor. So going along, listening, the engineer rolls his eyes and goes off with Scooter to try to do the thing. Listening, and as she's doing it, she wanders, she gets to the part where she does it. So now I'm going to start doing a repair, which is under
it's on the far right hand side under
recover
moves.
moves, repair. So I am doing a repair.
In the field, so yeah.
In the field.
So strong hit would get you 3 points. A weak hit gets you 1. To fix a broken module costs 2 points, and to repair any other device costs 3. So it would cost 3, I think, to repair this. This isn't a module. This is an actual device in the ship, right?
Right. Yes. Okay. So I'm making my own repairs, and so that gets back to my assets of move to craft, repair, add 1, take 1 momentum on hit.
So you're adding 2 then, because you're getting 1 for the gathering
Mhm.
information, or for securing advantage. Yeah.
Yep. And unfortunately, I have to do this plus wits. Raven doesn't do anything plus wits, but plus heart isn't an option on this one. So okay. Weak hit.
Weak hit. Okay. So that
Okay.
gives you 1 point. So not enough
So
to
I
actually get.
suggest that on a weak hit, um, Captain Isaac doesn't actually notice any change. I'm making progress,
Yeah.
but
I would.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that would count as 1 mark on your vow, because you're finishing his vow, right?
Yes.
So my thought is a weak hit will get you 1, a strong hit will get you 2,
Okay.
and you needed 10 total, right?
Mhm.
So, okay.
Should I go ahead, since there's a lot of role play in this, should I go ahead and do one more roll while we're here?
Yeah, at least
Sort of
1
cut
more.
the amount
Yeah.
of time in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, go ahead and do the roll, but technically it's just you've got plenty of time between the trip there, and the trip back to make all the successes you're going to need to accomplish this vow. Because remember, you can also you don't have to get all the way to 10 to finish the vow.
That's true.
At any point you can roll, and it's the number of full boxes you've got versus your 2 challenge dice.
And so I suggest, though, that I do want to do rolls, because if I get a strong hit, Captain Isaac notices.
That's fair. Yeah,
Notices
absolutely.
change in the nomad, in the
Yeah.
feel of the nomad.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let me try. I'm going to go ahead and roll twice more now. So I have 3 for right now, and then we'll cycle off to
Scooter
to
and
Scooter.
Scooter flying the shuttle, and the engineer with the claw.
Okay.
Scooter's going to the mall to play the claw game. Oh, damn it, don't grab the worm. It never holds on to the worm. The worm
Strong
always
hit
falls
with a
through.
match.
Oh, wow.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Yeah. And
Okay,
you only
strong-
rolled a 5.
I know. Okay, strong hit with a match.
So strong hit gets you 3. I think strong hits with a match has got to count as, or would give you, we had said 2 successes. That's with a match, it's got to be 3, right?
Okay. And so we've just left, and we're just now
Yeah.
heading out, because Raven's doing this while we're heading out.
Yeah.
And do you want to role play Captain Isaac commenting to Scooter?
Yeah, I could see him looking like something starts to move on one of the screens, and he looks down and he says, "Oh shit, that hasn't lined up since I bought this thing. That engineer of yours is something else, yes?"
Yeah, you don't see her for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden something starts working that didn't work before. It's amazing what she does, and all she does half the time, all she's doing is talking to it.
I wonder what she can do about the air conditioning.
Yeah, she hits a strong hit.
And so yeah, he starts watching.
And actually,
this.
as you muse
Yeah.
about that, the nomad happened to be I'm kind of snuffly and not breathing very well. The
Yeah.
and so Raven happens to fix that right as he says it.
So seen from outside, there's just a poof of dust coming out of all the vents outside the ship. Basically clean the vents. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we can go to. That's a nice
All
segue
right.
to Scooter.
So yes, Scooter, you're getting Take us. You do this one. What is the? You go to the bay with your engineer. What do you see? What is the? Have we seen the ship? His little ship yet? Oh yeah, it looks like a lobster. The big one looks like a crab. Little one looks like a lobster.
Yeah, the little one looks like a lobster. The big one's a crab. Yeah, Scooter's like kind of looks it over. Checks where the retro rockets are and where the thrust is going to be coming from, so he understands the 3D dynamics of it.
Yeah.
He may not be very good at faster than light, but if it's got rockets, it can move and I can fly it. So, kind of, gets strapped in. He talks to the engineer. So what we're looking for is a what were the name of our 5 colonies? There we are. We're looking
It's
for a
just big.
verdancy dynamics quantum resolution device. It's supposed to be in the bridge area. It kind of looks like a frisbee with like lights on one side.
That like every engineer ever. They're still using those?
Fortune's Favor is a very, very mature lady. She only takes the classics.
Okay, I run the claw. And he hits a couple buttons, and an image comes up on the screen.
And it's like, in 5 minutes with that little bird, you start talking like her. I swear on iron.
Watching her works makes me physically sick to my stomach. I don't want to talk about it.
So yeah, it looks like a frisbee.
Gotcha. Frisbee. Can you fly this thing?
Of course, I can fly this thing.
Right. Of course. Just
He almost looks hurt.
never met you before. Yeah. Okay. And so yeah, I mean, you guys are in space, right? You're there. So there's this wrecked ship. This is the first time I think we've actually had a chance to really look at this ship since we ran into it, right? So, what kind of ship was
we
it?
We landed
did
in the
we run
area.
into this? We didn't run into this. This was
This was already there.
This
this
was a
was
different
there.
derelict.
Yeah, this
The
was
other
where
part
what
of the same wreckage. fleet,
Isaac
though,
was on when
Yeah.
we came out.
Right,
We
yeah.
found him. Hey, Batco.
Hey,
Doo-doo. Big
at
scoops.
least once.
Yeah.
I only need to land it once.
So,
Heyo.
what do we do? What's the move here to fly a ship?
I mean, I
Face
kind of want to start by
danger?
figuring out how big is this ship? Like, what is his target?
I kind of think
Um,
the derelict was pretty big. I mean, it took 40 trips for it took Isaac 40 trips to
Yeah,
strip the
to
thing.
strip
So
it. Yeah. Somebody's keyboard. Nobody's typing. That's
thinking-
weird.
oh, it's probably me.
Okay.
Which is weird because I don't think my keyboard has ever been picked up.
It's apparently there's a feedback, like a doubling, like an echo.
I don't hear it.
I haven't got the channel on, so I don't either. But
Or I
don't
think
either. But
I think this is.
don't either.
I think
Anyway,
I don't know what I would call it. Maybe. Gosh. I was thinking it was exploration, but exploration's like
that's
exploration.
go find a new thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Well, so
face
then
danger.
it would be either gather information or
Yeah, I was thinking gather information. And then
and
to fly the ship.
then you could do like a repair to actually retrieve the thing.
That's really wild. It's not.
set a course. I mean, it is a debris field, so it might be.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that?
That's exploration.
Okay. Right, there we go. Yeah, when you follow a known route through perilous space across hazardous terrain or within a mysterious site.
Within a mysterious site.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So you
Oh.
roll plus
Good
supply.
choice.
His ship is perfect, so it's +5. Right, because
Okay.
he's got all his gear, right? He's full.
Yeah. And I'm just double checking that I have to actually change my supply when I'm doing this because.
Yeah, they change it to 5 for
Yeah.
him to have this roll.
I'm just double checking because when I set a course, I'm going to take the safest path so Raven has more time. I mean, the last thing I want to do is scratch the paint on somebody
Yeah.
else's ride.
Scratch his lobster.
Yeah, scratch his lobster.
It's not a euphemism. That's not a euphemism.
On a weak hit,
Batcow says it's happening only when you talk, Kevin. So it's something on your end.
And not always. I think it's probably a fan. Hang on a second. Go ahead. I'm just going to add a filter.
on a weak hit, You arrive and face a cost or complication. Choose one. Suffer costs en route. Make a suffer move or 2 suffer moves. Face a complication at the destination. Envision what you encounter. I'm thinking it's a complication.
We're on a derelict, yeah.
It's a derelict, and there's interference, like severe interference from something that's shorting on the wreck, and it's making it not only hard to navigate using instruments, but it's also distorting the visual spectrum, so it's making it hard for the engineer to win at the claw game.
Yes, let's give them end result. Give them a -1 to their roll. We're trying to pinch it. Somebody's gonna have to make that roll. You're there. You might as well do it. Scooter, you gave them the disadvantage by rocking the ship at exactly the wrong moment.
Yeah,
Uh,
and so
I think he'd probably roll.
what would we call this? Oh, resupply.
Yeah, that's right. You roll a supply. Yeah, that's right.
Scavenger craft rolling. I will call that wits. Oh, I don't want to use wits. No. No.
You usually use shadow. What is the shadow roll on this?
Steal or swindle.
I mean, you are swindling a ship from their pulse drive, but that's not entirely the right definition.
I want to say that because this is Scooter piloting, I want to say this is edge,
Go
but
for
that's
it.
not one of the options. But heart
So
is the
just
same.
roll. So just
Yeah, heart's the
Just
same.
roll edge.
or just roll. Just click on edge on your summary page.
Oh yeah, I guess I can do that. On a weak hit.
A weak hit, or you can burn a momentum for a strong hit.
I will burn my momentum, and I will take the +1 because if you are in need of a specific item or resource which can be reasonably attained, you acquire it.
Yeah. So yeah, you burn. Yeah. So you have to with him while he's reaching with the claw. You're using the thrusters. And wiggledy jiggledy.
You try to keep this thing stable when there's a class 3 gravitic disruption going on.
Yeah, I got the frisbee.
All right, let's get out of here before something else explodes.
Wait, things explode?
No, of course not. Let's just get out of here.
Can't say explode
Meanwhile.
in front of an engineer. And you guys start getting back to the ship. So yeah.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
sorry, it was my fault.
Speaking of explode,
Sorry, that was my
We
fault.
turn around just in time to see. That was
it's okay. It's just the residual dust.
I had to toss that in.
Call
It was
fire.
just, it was too much fun.
so what happens then? You see, you roll. You failed a repair roll. How does that look when you're chatting with the nomad?
Pay the price.
That's true. Let's see here. Repairs not made, and the situation worse is pay the price. Pay the price. Pay the price. Pay the price.
It's down at the bottom, very bottom.
Yes. And I'm well, so part of it is that was part of the interference for
Fair. Yeah.
for them.
There was a horrible zorting sound. Yeah.
That was our horrible zorting sound.
Yep.
The AC is now too good. It is -75.
Okay. I think I'm gonna count that as a environment or terrain introduces a new hazard. Yeah, I'm gonna count that at least. Well, let's see. It's not a match. What do you guys think? A -2 on my progress?
I don't know about that. I think.
And I caused the challenge. I caused the challenge.
No, it's just there's a
Ooh,
new.
what are you
a
gonna
new
say
hazard,
to Raven?
When
What are
there
you gonna
was
say
the
to Raven?
sort, I think when you did it, there was like the sort just about caused them to drop the frisbee, but it was still a weak hit, right? Oh no, it was a full miss. Never mind.
Mine's a full miss.
So yeah, new hazard. Yeah. So yeah.
So what are you going to say on the intercom?
I know that when it rains it pours, bird, but try not to shit on my ship.
Oop, sorry.
And I'm going to I think we're gonna call that face danger. Because that was a new hazard. The gravitics are funky. Space termites.
I've already
Which
got
hatched
space
off of
worms. We
eggs in
don't
the
need them.
frisbee that you didn't see.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna do that with edge, and I
What
get a
time matter
plus
fuel vented into
one.
space. Uh,
And I get a plus
Strong
one because
hit,
I am
right?
ace. Strong hit with a match.
Hey yo.
what?
All right.
Yes.
And I get +2 momentum. So you watch Scooter shrimp this bad boy all throughout like this gravity anomaly minefield. Like the engine systems itself, it's a bunch down in the back. And if you curl the tail, it creates a retro rocket. So he does that and he jets back and forth. And you kind of watch it just sort of like dash between the gravity wells. And we get back to the
That is some
Nomad.
expert piloting.
Yes.
I hand a bag to the engineer. I told you I knew what I was doing. Now let's
But he's
get this.
convinced Raven doesn't.
Yeah. No, let's get this frisbee on the ship. We can get everything going.
Just the sound of pinball noise.
Uh,
This is true. Oh, minefield advantage. Yeah, yeah.
uh, all right. So you get back to the ship with the thingy and start to head back towards us. Makes sense for Raven to make a couple more rolls now, right? And then we'll cut to Dr. Bill and Talia back on the planet. Because I now know exactly what Talia is going to do to get Vertan to come with us. Or at least give up.
Let's see. And I'm actually also going to do this one without a modifier because of the last. So weak hit doesn't they don't notice.
But you do
Back.
gain 1 point on your.
Uh-huh. And I'm back to using my initial modifier. Another weak hit, so it doesn't notice. Let me do we're at 1, 3,
Scoot
5
boot.
-2. So that's 4, 5, 6. Let me do one more.
A miss or burn momentum for a weak hit.
Aim to burn momentum for a weak hit that he doesn't notice.
Yeah, that he doesn't notice that he's working something else or rewired something else.
But he'd notice a miss.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Captain Isaac, sir, one officer to another, your landing clamps aren't letting us in. I believe right now I'm currently getting the finger and ASCII.
I
am
I
not
burnt
temporarily
momentum.
in control of anything on this ship. Stuff's just happening, like lights are going off and systems are coming back on, and
I burnt the momentum for the week.
okay.
So I'm
look.
going to. So as we pull back, go ahead, Scooter.
That middle finger is now an OK sign. I believe we are now good to land.
And he just crosses his arms across his chest and stops trying to push buttons. He's just watching his dashboard light up with weird numbers.
I am going to attempt to fulfill the vow.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see the vow. I have 1, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 after the -2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, okay, come on, Nomad, let's do this. Pull the lever.
Ooh, strong with a
Yes!
match.
Yo.
Yes.
It's like, that's why we have this lever.
Wow.
The do everything right lever.
So yeah,
Yes.
the factory reset button. You found a pin and a tiny hole in the side of that you have to hold the pin to hold for 10 seconds. Yeah. So what does that look like? What does Isaac see? Because he's got his control panel in front of him. When suddenly Raven flips a switch and everything works.
Sorry, writing down my notes.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, we've had some stuff and it's been fairly quiet. And yeah, Captain Isaac had noticed a couple of things early on, and then noticed one that wasn't a good one, that it's kind of like, what is she doing by my ship? And then things were quiet again for a while. And then all of a sudden the boards go green. And, there had been some ambient rattling noises and stuff like that, and all of that quiets. But the ship is still perfectly operating. The ship is still running just fine. The Nomad is, and Isaac tries to change something, and the ship responds just fine. But there isn't all the little glitchy stuff that normally happens.
He looks at Scooter. He says, "Do you smell air freshener? Like those tiny pine tree air fresheners?"
I thought that was just me.
And he's like,
They they have those this far out.
He's almost afraid to push buttons. Some things last forever.
But when he does, the Nomad responds, and the Nomad just gives this sigh of relief. It's like, there you go. That should hold you for a while.
Like somebody just turned off the emergency.
But make your captain do more repairs. I mean, you have a whole planet of engineers there. He should take good care of you.
You're too skinny, Tovarish.
And you see every system locked down, and you're the only one that's got access to it. The ship just
No.
As soon as you said other engineers,
Raven
it's like
doesn't
no.
And this was formidable. So
The lights are beeping. Yes.
To the tune of an unheard 70s Soviet era Eurobeat track.
So
that's going to bring us back down to Ramshackle then.
Yes, back to the ship. But while you were gone, Bill was left here. He was working up his gumption to go in and see Vertan again when Talia just sort of blows by him. And as she goes by, she looks at him and she says, "You're not really all that smart, are you?" And just keeps walking, and he sort of gets sucked into her vortex. I beg your pardon. I have degrees and things. She's over her shoulder. No, I mean with people. Vertan, where are you, Vertan? Vertan, I will bring every member of this community into this room, and we will sit on your equipment with no pants on, Vertan, unless you do exactly what this man tells you to do right now. I'll start with Sarah, Vertan. I can have her here in 1 second.
You're evil.
Yes, I am.
Make a compel roll. And then I will make it work.
I will bring those outsiders back if I have to. So help me. Don't make me turn this shit colony around.
I'm gonna do a roll with wits because this is her rule, not mine, and she's very good with people. So I'm gonna use my best stat.
Okay.
And she knows when she's definitely got a bond, so I'm gonna give her +1. A weak hit. So.
Vertan gives her a look. I'm onto you. He does. They don't say that, but it's
finger waggling is there.
Yeah, you can see that she's done this before. This is her standards. She's figured out his button, right?
What did you want?
I want
you come in with all these threats and you don't actually tell me what you want.
I want you to get on the ship with the rest of us. You could have your own little room in the back. I'm sure they've got a closet with plenty of space for you and your beepy boopies. We'll leave you alone. Unless you don't listen. And if you don't listen, we'll have a party in your room.
But they went away.
And they can
If
all...
they went away, they would leave it. But if the spawn went away, they would leave and leave me alone. That was the deal.
Yes, Bertan, the deal has changed, dear. The planet is eating itself. I'm sure you can control the little worms for now, but what happens when your batteries run out, dear? Are you going to get on a little bike and pedal it?
I make generators.
And how long would that last? Do you really want to spend the rest of your days trying not to get eaten by the worms as they get more and more powerful? And what if, and she turns around and looks at the screen, that one comes to see how its eggs are doing?
And Vartan gets a very crafty look on their face. It could be interesting. Oh, very well. And I suppose this one here wants me to take all this stuff so you could poke around in it.
Well, yeah, because we have no idea that you guys have succeeded on your mission. So yeah, she says, "Yes, we're taking it with us. We're taking everything we can carry with us for 10." And she looks around the room full of stuff. She says, "One bag for 10. One bag that you can carry."
Plus equipment. Don't need pesky bag. Don't need bag. Just need equipment.
Good. Then help me get
You
this
want this-
unplugged. As she starts taking his stuff
Goes over
apart.
and it starts doing switches and stuff, and you hear things jumping, going, and you
then-
hear muttering that you're just sure is curses, but you can't quite make it out.
And in the background, Dr. Bill just shakes his head and says, "No, you're right. I'm just not very good with people." And he turns around and walks out to see if he can see the nomad coming back. So,
Like, no, touch that. I'll do it. Go away.
and now that she's got him
Don't touch
moving,
that either.
now that she's got him moving, exactly. As soon as he starts looking distracted, she just touches stuff and brings him back to the moment. And yeah, he basically packs up his own gear
Muttering the whole.
time. Yeah. And
Oh, goody, this means we're going to take Vertan with us. Oh, goody, goody, goody.
and
He'll
Bill,
do it all
yeah,
himself. I don't have to do
Bill
it.
does
As a
go
player,
to the
that's
ship.
cool.
He's going to do his thing. So, what he said. So he's going to go to the ship and convert part of it into a Vertan cave. Make sure he's got lots of power and lots of screens and lots of HDMI cables.
Sorry, Scooter.
He can
We're
take
probably losing our
Larry's old-
secondary bridge.
It's like he can take Larry's workstation. We never lacked him anyway.
Yeah, it's just he's literally just a closet, right? It doesn't take much space. It's just Vertan. So yeah, Bill goes to make a space for Vertan.
As
on
you
the ship.
find
The quarters
more
of Bill's
and more
least liked
crates,
colleague.
more and more crates as the it's all the equipment. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this whole observatory was wired
Oh,
in,
yeah.
and it's like, so it turns out to be a lot more than Dr. Bill thinks.
Yes, yeah. But yeah,
The
that's
classic grumble curse.
yes. The Yosemite Sam, Yasser, Frassen, Frickin', Frackin', Rissin, Frissin, yeah.
Mhm.
Vertan ends up in the old quarters. Bill's the least favorite colleague. Yeah. But yes, we do have space for them.
I want the entire backup bridge.
So the ship gets
Not
back,
for
right?
all the iron in the forge,
Yeah.
sir.
And all of engineering.
All you got to do to get Vertan to leave anywhere
And
is have 3
2/3 of the
people show
ship.
up.
And
What?
2/3 of the shuttle bay.
We'll just tie 4 engineers together and have them herd him around. We're
It's
gonna
like a
stand here.
jolly jumper of
Touch that.
engineers.
Yeah, we're gonna stand here and talk to you, Vertan. No, I don't know. No.
Go away.
So, with you coming back, your ship coming back to us, it seems, I know it's only 7:37, but is that a decent spot to end it?
I think so.
Because we've
And
now
Mike
got
off is starting
gonna-
to. I'm
yeah.
starting to have problems. with
Reunite.
it.
we've now got
Yep.
2 of the things that we only needed 1 of, because we should have just asked
Spares
Talia.
are always good.
Yeah, we should have
Spares
just
are
asked
always
Talia in the
good.
first place. But yes, thank you. That was a good episode. We're actually moving forward. I still think we're going to die before we ever get out of this sector, but at least we're going to get off this planet next week, or next time we play. So that is a good sign. So with that, let's do the thank yous.
Let's do the end of session.
Oh, let's do the end of session because that's an end of session.
Ayo.
Yes. Develop your relationships and reach milestones. So again, take a look at your vows and see if you did anything with that. I didn't. I thought I was going to spend some. We're going to spend some time studying these worms, but he hasn't yet. So, and he didn't forgive himself for anything. So that I don't get. But legacies, I think. Bonds, I'm going to take one, weirdly enough, for Talia. And no discoveries.
I think so.
No discoveries and no quests. So
Let's see. My connections.
I had very
with
slow week
Scooter.
this week. That's
Yeah,
good.
I didn't develop the relationship with the Bonda Scooter. I didn't do the favor. Do I take do I
I'd say
improve the
with
bond
Isaac.
with Isaac? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll mark for Isaac, and I will need to add because I now have a relationship with the Nomad.
Yes. Definitely.
And then
I think
okay, so that's under connections. So then under
and then
legacies,
under legacies, under
quests,
bonds, right?
yeah, quests, I get a full box. I get a full box under quest.
Yep. So you get
2,
some
3, 4. Okay, so I get a full box there. Oh, which means I get
you get 2 experience points to burn. Yep.
the 2 experience points. Bonds. That is the Nomad, so we get +1 on the Nomad.
And then 1 more for Isaac. So I think for on
Okay,
legacies
so
take
2.
2. Yeah. And then the connections.
Okay, and
as well.
discoveries. Not really.
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Specifically.
Medkit.
James aside, even though I didn't roll for it, I'm pretty sure I give at least another mark towards fixing the medical bay.
Oh yes. Yep. Yep.
Agreed.
Plus,
understanding how it doesn't work is just as important as understanding how it does work.
Yep. And I think for legacies, definitely went under discoveries for this new disease that you've just discovered.
Ayo.
Yeah. So quests, so now I got to put experience points for quests, but that's not a right now thing.
Yeah.
Then discoveries, get 1 for the hey, there's an unknown pathogen or effect that you may have to figure out before we leave the planet, by the way. So that's going to be a potential complication to us trying to get out of Dodge.
Which we might now have the generator that's actually making people sick on board if one of your theories is correct. If Vertan's tool is the thing that's doing it, then we just put it in the spin.
At the same, if the generator is there to keep the worms away, when we're in space, we don't need the generator.
We don't need that part of it
at least running.
We can just have him tracking, hopefully. So it's going to be interesting having a specialist on board on something that we know nothing about. So that's going to be good.
And in the planning for next week, we're also going to need to address what Dr. James found in the sensors about what Vertan did.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So mark that down under next week.
Yeah, so we could have some fun with that too. So yeah, next week I think is repair and recovery time. We might actually get off the planet back into orbit, like the space-dwelling people we are supposed to be. And we may have at least the vaguest of ideas of what one of our enemies looks like. Plus, we still have the other ship to decide whether we're going to rescue the royals or not. Because that's going to be entirely in our hands. Tee-hee, tee-hee. Anyway, those happy thoughts, yeah.
I think Scooter got 1 for be worthy of a captain, honest to his crew.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I think he got a point in his quests.
Yep.
Because we just did
for
a side
legitimacy,
quest.
Yep. Yep.
We did a side quest.
Yep.
And a point for discovery.
Yep.
I think.
That's fair.
Because at the very least, there's the gravity anomaly, and we find out that two busted ships can cause a gravity anomaly.
Yes. So, with that, then I think that wraps our session.
So now we can do thank you.
Now we do the thank you. Yay! See if I can remember to do this in reverse order. Thank you very much, Mudkip/Nick, for Dr. James. I love the idea of him finding more troubles than he's fixing, because that's real doctoring, right? We're in the first episode of the first part of a house episode, right? We don't get to the amazing solution
It's not lupus.
for a while yet. Yeah. Always.
It's never a lupus, but they always try that.
Except for the one time it was.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for that. Thank you very much to next was to Karis for bringing Raven to us and winning over yet another ship. The ships of the universe are going to sing songs about Raven as time passes. Each one of them be handing her around like a guest engineer. Raven is the bard for the ships, so only for ships. So thank you for that.
All ships are friend-shaped.
Yes. Thank you to Bison_Stonefist for Scooter. He's really stepping into the role of captain. There's no more sort of second guessing. He just puts his ass in the chair and does things. So that's good to see. I'm enjoying that very much. Thank you to everybody who watched. There wasn't a whole lot of you tonight,
And
but there probably is
thank
for
you
the
to
VOD.
Kevin.
Well, thank you to me. Yes, thank
Kevin,
you. Thank you
for
to me.
yes, for
Yes.
what we've got with Dr. Bill, who's learning that he's actually going to learn some social skills here if he's receptive to Talia and all.
Yes.
And he made a friend, so isn't that great?
That's just to make up for the hatred that he now feels. He still feels for Vertan, but we'll get over that.
They'll be having drinks together by the end of the campaign.
No, go away.
No, go away, except for you.
You just slide drinks under the door, but really flat drinks. Anyway,
Saucer.
Saucer. So thank you to everybody that watched. If you watched live, thank you. If you watched the VOD, thank you. If you watched on YouTube, hit the buttony things at the bottom, hit the bells and the whistles, and make a comment, so we know you actually watched it. We appreciate it very, very much.
And if you want to contribute to the ideas, please join us in Discord. Can somebody do the Discord link again?
Yes.
We really are a community, as we said at the beginning of this session. You know, that we've got shows how many nights a week now?
Coming
And
up on 6 again, yeah.
And Kevin is only in one of them.
Soon to be 2.
So
yes.
this is a community, and we run and we collaborate together using Discord. So come join us. And if you've got ideas for what we do with Vertan, what we do with the worms, stuff like that, there's a chat dedicated to Starsworn Saturday, and so add it there. We do use it.
Yes.
And if you have an off-stream game that you're looking for players, also hit up our Discord.
Yes.
Because not everybody wants to stream, but everybody wants to play.
Yes.
So if you've got an idea for a home game, give it, look it up. I'm sure there's going to be somebody who wants to get in on it.
Almost certainly. And with that, you hit the nail on the head, because we're a community first, we game second. That's the whole point. Mutual support, lots of love, lots of friendship, being nice to each other, because that's what it's all about. So, until the next time we see you, however long that may be, whatever night it might be the next time we see you, please make an effort to be nice to each other. Good night.
Bye.